Hi friends, let's take a look at Tezos together. Tezos, how are you doing? 2878 or 2875? That's just perfect. So let's try and keep things nice and brief in today's episode. Just because we don't really need to go on too much about stuff. Look at this. This is currently higher than it is over here. That's what we wanted to see happen. Essentially get this here. It's been a low, a higher, a high, a higher low, and then come in for some sort of higher high over here. So we want to see the prices maintain themselves above that 2850 area if we can, and close out there. Of course, this could still ultimately be along the ways to one of these sort of higher highs, but let's just hope that that's what happens today, essentially, and we can do that without the divergence coming in here, having touched the 50% retrace area. Very good, back towards 50%. Let's get this going, properly. Just a quick sort of bearing in mind how. That we're above the 236 over here as a consequence of the current price action above that 2825 area. So, going on up then, let's just see if we can really do something here. We've got quite close to the 382 at 2899, but not quite. And the 200 simple in there, the 55 EMA, moving up above the 21 EMA at 2820 was a good sign for us. But let's see, because this has all happened fairly recently. Today's price action's seeing a decent candle. Does this make this one over here stopping volume? It might in terms of the daily time frame, the 12-hour time frame, the daily time frame, all that stuff. Just where we saw this, was that stopping volume in terms of this downward price movement? It could have been. So let's just see if we've got something on the lower time frames shaping up to give us some sort of indication of anything. Well, I don't want to shove a pattern onto this or anything like that. I don't want to make it fit into a box that it doesn't really want to. Instead, I'm just going to look at the lows and look for hidden bullish divergence just now first. And there's the potential for it off this last low, and this one, which is cool to see. You could have thought that there were some sort of head and shoulders here, just looking at this and trying to consider this to be shoulders, heads, and shoulders. But with the downward sloping prior trend beforehand, that wouldn't make sense. It's always a good reminder for folk, But the psychology still does make sense in the sense that you could have got a neckline in and around this region. When the prices came in down here, we had a stronger bearish momentum in order to try and push it down there. But ultimately, it didn't actually even make a lower low and break any sort of neck, really, and has then turned around since. So you've got the hidden bullish divergence. Do we have bearish divergence? No, we don't. Maybe actually here on the DMI we do. If this were to be a local high. Again, though, this is the 4 hour and it is a local high actually currently. So that has done that. So it has got a bit of bearish divergence on the DMI, but it could just be a bit early in a sense, because these things are snaking all around each other. We've got the ADX was below 15, right down to 12, where you got the volatility coming in at, as we've spoken about in the past so often. And we're not divergent on the RSI or the stochastics compared to these previous areas. This is just as a function of the volatility and the price action over this period that's resulted in that. So I'll wait for a wee bit longer, for this DMI to kind of sort itself out, given that this is really a measure of the divergences between the positive and the negative highs and lows in a sense. That's why I swapped this out for the MACD sometimes, by the way. You might be wondering why I swapped these two out or whatever, because I don't want the MACD on here when I've got the moving averages on here so much, and that. The MACD would have been useful recently, perhaps for some coins in terms of divergence, because I've got it on some other charts and I look at it and I was like, oh, there's that there. Anyway, so then this here, could this have been an inverse head and shoulders type chat here then, and we've moved up above all these different, this is good. The dollar price could this be a sort of bottoming formation where you have bullish divergence between the previous two lows here, then moving up above a key area in terms of the price action, we're above this 236, making that invalid again and going back up again. Could that all be good? Yes, it could. This could be a reversal with this downward pattern here. This upward pink line here, as we can see, we've got a bigger time frame, this shape here for this overall ascending triangle. So could we see something like this come in there and bring the prices up as high as $3.05 and give us an opportunity to try and actually test those things again? Yeah, we could in a sense. Let's check out the difference at HIT BTC. Still not made it above 258 here on this one. Obviously, in terms of HIT BTC, it's bullshit, but at the same time, that's the line here for us. That's the crucial line here. don't want to see this turn into a head and shoulders here, so let's bear that in mind. Again, 293 area going up to as high as that, and then dropping down the way could give you shoulder, head, shoulder for a head and shoulders here with this upward price movement beforehand, diminishing volume throughout. So you don't want to see that happen. If it has to happen, no chance I'll remember what the hell this is about when I look at this chart next time. But there is the possibility for that. So let's bear in mind then that 293 here. We want to see that going up above that area here. Here, see if I make this really. Will I ever? No, there's no way I'll ever remember. And that's a big mess. Going to have to get rid of that at some point. But that's what we can bear in mind. If you were looking for something to give you a target here, which could potentially be a lower term target, 285 as well in terms of the downward sloping trend line here, which we still have on the go. Let's not forget it as well. So this line here. So let's say then in terms of dollar prices, things to be aware of are definitely, the 293 area where I've just kind of adjusted this downward sloping trend line to accommodate that. So I could just say 293. So that's 293, right? I've said it, I think, enough times there for that one. I want to be breaking up above it. Obviously had this discussion already, and looking then, can we get up above that $3.03 area? Where is the high on this here at 295? Yeah, so the same sort of picture throughout. Let's see how we handle these things on the go, at the minute. This is still sideways and isn't got enough data on here to say that we're trending in any direction, but we're kind of in a rectangle. And of course, we've this line here at 242. Great, that was good stuff. That was a good entry overall. Yeah, not financial advice. Just going to leave it at that. Oh, I have to take a look at Ethereum. Oh, good. Yeah, we've moved up a bit. That's what we were hoping for. We've come down here, found support in around the 233 and our blue serrated line. Sure, it did go lower, but these lines are zones. They're fuzzy, not price point exact. And the 233, as we hoped for, was acting as resistance or support for us. Let's hope that continues, because ultimately, if we're also going to actually be honest about things, we've had a lower low come in here, but it's a bullishly divergent one. Should we actually see the prices go up above this 11, up towards 12, stuff like that? At any given time, this chat's been the same chat for a while, really, and then with continuation towards the downside, then we've had to sort of just kind of reaccommodate it. But if this does move up above sort of 11.5 and close and stay up above there in a 24-hour time frame, and actually then at the same time then manage to stay above, then after that 11, and then after that come up and challenge 12, then we could start to look to this as being positive. Waiting for it though, because because over here in the weekly time frame, you could make the argument that this could just be higher. This is like we were saying, this is an upward trend here versus Ethereum in general. High, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, etc. And that can continue on right until the prices go down even below 10. So anyway, that'll do for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Please share these videos with a friend if you've got one that you think would like it. All that good stuff. Watch the other videos. Make my viewership time the top and everything, and tell everybody I'm the best, and inflate my ego, and say everything's great and how wonderful the world is, and all the good stuff. And do all for nothing, just because to satisfy my sense of self-importance. Yeah, that's basically what we're looking for here. Right. No, I genuinely appreciate it when people do watch the videos, like them, share them, all that stuff. Really do, genuinely. So thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.